Hey guys, it's Shayda. Today I have another crafting tutorial for you. We're going to be making this printed pom-pom pillowcase. So let's get started. Alright, so we'll begin with our supplies. You're going to need a solid color cushion cover, like this girly from Ikea in a beautiful salmon pink. It also comes in white and black and gray. And then we're going to be carving our own triangle stamp. So you'll need some sort of material for stamp carving like Speedy Cut. That one is available at any art store or you can get to it on Amazon. And you'll also need a ruler, a mechanical pencil or pencil, and an X-Acto knife to make the stamp. And then in order to do the printing, you're going to be using a soft rubber brayer, and that's to create your inking plate and ink your stamp. For the inking plate, you'll just need a piece of glass, like out of a picture frame. And then we're going to be using fabric ink from Speedball. And this is a really nice product. It is oil-based, but it does clean up with water. And if you leave it to cure for a few days, your pillow cover will be completely washable. Okay, I'm going to open this up and I'm going to start by making my stamp. So I'm just drawing a straight line across the material, and that's how high or how large I want my triangle to be. Then I'm going to mark the center, and then I'm going to draw a line from the center to the corner on both sides, from the center mark to the corner, and that'll create what I hope is a fairly symmetrical triangle. It looks pretty good, so I'm ready to cut it out. So I'm just taking my ruler and my X-Acto knife and using my ruler as a guide. And then for the angled cuts, what you're going to see me do is cut in about halfway, then flip it around, still using the ruler as a guide, and cut in the rest of the way. And that'll just keep you from getting a wonky cut or the knife sort of pulling at the end. And then I'm going to just mark the wrong side of my stamp here, and then I'm ready to create my inking plate. So I'm just putting a little bit of the white ink, a very small amount of the black ink because I don't want it to get too dark. And then I'm also using an extender base, and that's just going to help my inks go a little further. So I'm going to get a little more out of them, which is really nice. So you can pick that up with your Speedball fabric inks as well. And you can see them all on the plate there, and now I'm using my rubber brayer to just mix them up and create a nice smooth, even inking surface. This first one is a little too light. It's just too close to the color of the pillowcase. So I'm just adding in a little more black, and then I'm pretty much ready to print here. So you'll see me take the stamp and ink it using the rubber brayer, and then I'm just going to place it in the corner here and make my first print. Now the nice thing about the triangle print is that it's not an intricate stamp, so I don't have to worry about making a perfect print. In fact, what's going to create interest in my pattern is having some prints that are darker and lighter than each other. And I'm just going along here and I'm making a row of triangles, and then for the next row I'm going to invert that triangle. And if you've followed the channel, you'll know that I love pattern making. I've been really into pattern design and creation lately, and I hope you guys are getting into it too, because it's such a creative endeavor and you can create a pattern any which way. You can use one stamp, one color like I'm doing here, or if I were to just throw in a couple navy triangles. How cool would that look? And I'd have a completely sort of different looking pattern. By creating these rows, I'm going for this very sort of modern Scandinavian style pattern, but I could have done something totally random that would have changed the look of the pillow completely. So pattern making, let's do it. All right, so now that side is done. I'm going to throw down a piece of craft paper and flip my pillow over. I don't want to wait for it to dry. It takes a few days. I want to get this done all at once. So I'm going to protect my workspace with the craft paper. I have washed my inking plate and brayer just because the ink gets a little dry and crusty over time, and I don't want to work with a crusty inking plate. So I'm creating a nice fresh inking plate there, and I'm going to do a different pattern on the back side. I don't want it to be so different that it doesn't look like it belongs on the same pillow, but you'll see here by going for a more randomized pattern, I get a totally different result, and that's what's so fun about pattern design and creation. And I think these patterns are going to complement each other, and they're going to result in a pillow that's sort of reversible and two-sided and is really cool. All right, now that that's all done, we're gonna set this pillowcase aside and let it dry and cure for a few days, and then we're gonna finish this pillow with some gorgeous pom-poms. Okay, so let's talk about pom-poms. We're going to be making our pom-poms today with the help of Pom Pom looms. This is what the finished product looks like. This is just made out of a wool yarn, but you could totally use cotton yarn, which I think looks really cool and modern, or acrylic yarn. I'm using a lamb's wool in gray. So that's the finished pom-pom. I've, like I said, just made it out of some wool yarn. I've got a ball of it here, or what's left of a ball. Now, like I said, we're going to be using a pom-pom loom today, but you can also make pom-poms using 2 cardboard rings, and you just run the yarn through the center, and you go around and around, and it takes a really long time. So pom-pom looms, they are a game changer. So if you can get your hands on some, they often come in packs of 2, and I got these 2 at Michael's for around $10. They make the process so much quicker and easier, and they're a great tool to have because you can use them for scarves and hats and all your pom-pom needs. So I used the smaller one for this, and that's what it looks like there. And how they work is you simply, they sort of flip open on both sides. So that's opening one side, you can flip it around, open the other side. So they're the same as that cardboard circle, but they open up in the middle. So you're free to sort of wrap that yarn around each side of the circle, and you can do it really quickly. Here you can see me just covering the one half of the circle in yarn and getting it really nice and thick, and then I'm just going to snip off my ball of yarn with scissors, and I'm going to repeat the whole process on the other side. So I'm just opening it up, getting lots of yarn wrapped around the remaining side, and then I'll close it. You can snip off your yarn again. And then this is the fun part. You can take some really sharp, small scissors. Embroidery scissors are great. And you're going to cut all the way around the perimeter of the circle, or the edge of the circle. And that's what it looks like. And now at this point, this is a very important step. You need to secure the pom-pom by tying a piece of yarn through the center. So you're just going to run a piece of yarn through the center, secure it with a granny knot or whatever, and then you can open up your pom-pom loom, and the whole loom comes apart. Right in the center there you can see, and that'll go back together really easily, and you can easily remove your pom-pom, and then it usually needs a little bit of a haircut so that it looks uniform, but that's what it looks like when it's all done. And then of course you can cut off that long piece of yarn that you secured the pom-pom with, and then you're going to repeat that 8 times, 8 or 10 times depending how many pom-poms you want. I found for my 50 by 50 centimeter pillow I needed 8 pom-poms. And then what we're going to do is we're going to sew each pom-pom on using a needle and thread. So I just have a nice heavy-duty gray thread here and a large needle. And I'm just threading my needle, and basically I'm just going to sew the pom-poms on. They just take a few stitches. So I'm going to go in from the inside of the pillowcase and push my needle through the pillowcase and then right through the center of the pom-pom. And I'm just going to pull my large needle out. So it went from the inside of the pillowcase through the pom-pom. And then I'm just going to go back through the pom-pom. So here what you're seeing is I've gone back through the center of the pom-pom and then back into the pillowcase. And I just did a couple stitches, 2 or 3 stitches like that. And then I would just tie them off. And I had very secure pom-poms. And that's what it looks like when it's all done. It's sort of Moroccan meets modern. It's this great cushion that's awesome for a bed, or it makes a beautiful floor cushion. I hope you guys enjoyed this printmaking tutorial. If you'd like to see more printmaking in the future, give me your suggestions in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.